It's the hashtag Simply Cyber, COMMUNITY. Here to break the cycle, this is vital more than you and I. Yeah, it's exciting, it don't matter what your title is. You can grab a friend or two or three or four and invite them in. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Dr. Auger is a OG, got that potion in your elixir. Got devotion to all those who keep on showing up to witness. Spit the tricks and quips and all the tips to raise your cyber fitness. Switching up the routines, pass it off to James quicker. Keep the people smiling, hit that follow, that's a good decision. Every week, today, tomorrow, I encourage y'all to listen. We gon' teach y'all way more than how to protect yourselves from phishing. More like being confident so you can recognize a vision. On a mission, it's official, we gon' get through all these issues. Time for jaw jacking, baby, this is more than a tradition, yeah. Oh, I can't forget to recognize the mods. They the engine, they the reason that you leave and feeling charged. It's a Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's a Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Yeah. What else can I say? I hope you find some value in this place and have yourself an awesome day. Simply Cyber's here to stay. So let's all put our hands together ready. Time to hang with Dr. A.
Alrighty, let's cook, baby. Today is Friday, June 13th, 2025. This is episode 898 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and over the next hour on this program, me, you, Space Tacos, Code Brew, Jesse Johnson, Kerry, Jimmy Barrios, Elliot Matisse, and the San Francisco contingent. Not to be confused with the Miami connection, right? Or what was it? What was the Miami sound machine? Yeah. The San Francisco connection and the Miami sound machine. Kimberly can fix it as the ambassador over there. Guys, we are all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, and I'll be doing everything in my power for each story to rip past the headlines and data mine out value for you. What kind of value, Jerry? You might be asking. I can read the story. Well, I've got 20 years of experience and a lot of education, and I freaking love cybersecurity. So I'm going to be able to go in there and pull out insights like, this is why vulnerability management doesn't work, or things that go beyond the textbook or the classroom, like, guess what? Executives are going to act like this despite best practices, so get ready to buckle up and ride that lightning, okay? So whatever it is, I have no idea. Honestly, I don't research or prep the stories. I literally have no idea. I know the first story has something to do with Microsoft Entra because I saw the headline, but in all practicality,
ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. We're riding low on the hip on a train bound for glory up in this show, and that's how we like to roll. So just settle in, get a cup of coffee, get ready to have some fun, or get some beers or bourbon. I know we got an international audience. Maybe you don't want to drink a cup of coffee. Richard Duff and Funky Monk out in Australia right now because, you know, obviously, like, oh, I'm going to bed. I'm just going to pound a pot of coffee real quick before we do that. Guys, it's going to be all about good times. Like I said, if you are an active practitioner, the goal here is to give you value and help you basically be the CEO of your career. So whether you choose to deliver risk reduction to an organization or market your wares out on the free market and get paid and treated better, maybe. I don't know. Some people are at toxic workplaces. In fact, I know one particular Simply Cyber community member, a very dear friend, who's actually looking to move, and he's not super jazzed about it because he wanted to do something else, but his workplace is just toxic. Can't be dealing with that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
All right, and if you're looking to break into the industry, we see it every day in chat. If it just happened to you recently, share your experiences. The Daily Cyber Threat Brief is a phenomenal answer when you get asked the question in the job interview, what do you do to stay current in industry? You will be asked that question, mark my word. And this is a great answer. On top of it, steal what I'm saying. Steal what the other, practitioners and mentors who come on here and share their insights say. Steal it, steal it, steal it, and make it your own. And basically crush those job interviews. And then you get to decide whether or not you want the job, not the other way around. You picking up what I'm putting down? Let's go. Now, I do want to say every episode, including 898, is brought to you by the stream sponsors. We got Barricade Cyber, Antisyphon, Threat Locker, and Flare today. And I do want to say thank you. Shout out to Justin Gold in chat. Justin Gold, our resident crypto evangelist. He loves it. He loves it. He loves it. Dude, let me tell you really quickly. Let me go full Fire Marshal Bill. And if you need to Google that, go ahead. It's worth it. Jim Carrey's one of Jim Carrey's OG characters. Let me tell you about AntiCiphon Training, yo. Next week, so today, if you're watching this live, you know it's June 13th. If you're watching on replay, FYI, it's June 3rd. But on June 19th, June 20th, June 21st, June 22nd of June... what an idiot I am. That doesn't make any sense. Listen, Active Defense and Cyber Deception with John Strand. This class is awesome. It's a 4-day, 4 hours a day, June 16th through 19th. So next week, Monday through Thursday, you have a chance to take this. You can take this for $0. You can take this for $0. It's a pay what you can, pay it forward. This class is awesome. John Strand's awesome. This class particularly is one of my favorite classes I've ever taken. It teaches you how to set up traps, right? Like it's DayZ and you're setting up tripwires in military bases. You're picking up what I'm putting down, like straight up honey pots, honey tokens, honey accounts. John also does a lot of like really heady lectures in this particular course around when to use it. Is it appropriate to use it? Talking about legality of hacking back, stuff like that. So I'm going to drop a link to this in chat. If you have an opportunity to go to it, even for a little bit, I recommend strongly doing it. Like I said, the investment's pretty low, $0. So you can do it. And I'm telling you, you'll come back on my Monday, 2 weeks from now, and you'll be like, Jerry, thanks for telling me. Like, best class ever. And this isn't a class he teaches all the time, right? It's a couple times a year, so you got to scoop it up while it's out there. Guys, dude, for real, want to say shout out to Barricade Cyber. You guys know Barricade Cyber. Barricade Cyber straight crushing it like a bunch of bosses up in this piece. Where is my read for Barricade Cyber? Oh, there we go. Hey, Dream Logic, good vibes and still driving. Now take care, everyone. Thanks, Dream Logic. Drive safe. Keep your eyes on the road. And, dude, I can pick up. I smell what you're stepping in, Dream Logic, when it comes to driving. This time tomorrow, I'll be in hour 5 of white knuckle, Dan Carlin's hardcore history pumping into my ears as I drive 16 hours. Guys, is your Microsoft 365 environment secure? Well, is it? With business email compromise attacks on the rise, your entire operation could be at risk. Fortified 365 from Barricade Cyber Solutions is your defensive shield. Their team of experts, led by Eric Taylor, implements proven security standards to protect your business from cyber threats, ensure compliance, and safeguard your sensitive data. They've helped countless organizations strengthen their M365 defenses with tailored solutions that address real-world vulnerabilities. Don't wait until after a breach to take action. That is the worst time to take action. I mean, you have to, but...
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Dream Logic with the super chat. Thank you, Dream Logic. Appreciate that. 2,500 of the local currency where Dream Logic is. Visit Fortify365.com today to learn how you can secure your Microsoft 365 environment. Don't be negligent. Don't be what is it called when you ignore things? Delinquent or negligent. Harden your 365 environment. It's as simple as that. Finally, guys, let me just tell you, Flare Academy. This one's coming up. I love talking about Flare Academy because I feel like it's like an awareness campaign for them. Flare is a cyber threat intelligence platform, which is awesome, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about their academy. They are bringing in, this is very much like Simply Cyber Fireside, so if you caught my talk last night with Tanya Jenka, you know what I'm talking about. Flare Academy is setting up these monthly calls with industry professionals. And this one on June 23rd is Jason Haddock's, which I have been gushing about all week. So if you're new here, let me gush a little bit more. Jason Haddock's is awesome, and hearing him talk is awesome. This operational and cybercrime data in Red Team Ops, for offensive operations and red teams. Guys, I can tell you without having taken this course or know anything about the details, which the details are down here if you want to read them, this is going to be a massively awesome value add talk. Jason Haddix doesn't waste his time doing anything that isn't awesome. I'm going to say you can go to the link below, but if I have a redirect, so if you go to simplycyber.io/flare, you will get to the talk. Register, check it out. I'm just telling you, it's very cool. I registered myself for it. I will be on a family vacation, so I might be like secretly in the bathroom for 2 hours watching this. Don't tell Mrs. Auger. I probably can't pull off a 2-hour bathroom break unless like I like facilitate some nonsense the night before for dinner where I'm like, oh no, we're going to do the hot ones challenge. Okay. Whoa. TMI, pull up, Jerry, pull up. All right, guys. Hey, if today is your first episode, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. Do we have some good news here? Did someone get a job? Jason? I see some congratulations for Jason. And I'm confused. So let me know. Like, I'm part of the community too, guys. I like to play. So, Team SC, me too. Guys, if you are here for the first time, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. Hashtag first timer in chat. We have special sound effects, speech emote that we love doing. Space Tacos knows what it is. So let us know, and we'll be happy to welcome you into the community. Hashtag first timer if it's your first one. Dark Iceman's turning it into a long timer. I love it. All right, guys, final thing I got to say. Every episode, and listen, I got a support ticket for Simply Cyber Academy last night for this, which is cross-pollinating. This episode, and please listen if you have to do CPEs, because I get this question a lot, and it's like, I try to say it every day to make it very convenient for you. Every day, there's a daily cyber threat brief. The brief is worth half a CPE. So all you have to do is take a screenshot of this, include the show title, which says the date, June 13th, include your name. Code Brew just did it, 61325 Team SC. Code Brew's killing it. If you can, the ticker right here is going to say half a CPE at the very beginning. Take a screenshot of that and file it away. Do that every day. So then at the end of the year, you have a bunch of screenshots. This is the part that I think people miss. With your certification body, ISACA, CompTIA, ISC2, whatever it is, I don't care. Like, you have to submit that you got 120 CPEs or 40 CPAs, and it'll say, what kind of CPEs is this? And you could say it's an instructor-led webinar, and that's it. Only if they ask for evidence, if you're audited, will you have those screenshots come to use. That's it. It's very simple. Just submit it. I can't submit them for you. That's not how it works. All right? Now, we got a first-timer live, so we'll count that as a first-timer. Prasad Donite, welcome to the party, pal. All right, y'all. Hey, Tony Jack, first time all week to tune in. Been a busy one. I hope it's been a good busy, not a incident response type busy, but great to have you here, Tony Jack. All right, everybody, do me a favor. Sit back, relax, and get ready for some rib ticklers from James McQuiggan's dad jokes. But first, let's do the news and get spicy.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Friday, June 13th, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice. Hackers' attacks target Microsoft Entra ID accounts using pen testing tool. Researchers at Proofpoint are describing a hacking campaign that is using the Team Filtration pen testing framework to target more than 80,000 Microsoft Entra ID accounts at hundreds of organizations worldwide. Blame is being placed on a threat actor called UNK_Sneaky Strike. The attacks occurred from December of last year through to March. Team Filtration is a legitimate pen testing tool first published in 2022 by Trusted Sec Red Team researcher Melvin Langvik. It is thought that for this attack, the gang, quote, used AWS servers across multiple regions and used a sacrificial Office 365 account with a business basic license to abuse Microsoft Teams API for account enumeration.
Yep.
Oh, all right. So Jason landed a gig in Newport, Fancy. I love Newport. Very nice. Very cool. Congratulations, dude. And as is protocol. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jason, Wrecking Ball. Nice job, dude. Straight crushing it like a boss. I love it. And thank you, Jenny, for letting me know. Becky Gaylord's got news. Hi. I got good news. Start a new GRC manager role on Monday right after Layer 8Con this weekend, where I believe Becky is speaking. Holy crap. Who knew? Guys, I don't know these things are going to happen. It looks like it's a Wrecking Ball Friday. Way to go, Becky Gaylord. Straight crush it. Destroy that GRC role. Absolutely eviscerate it. You got this. Lazaro with a super chat. Let's go, Lazaro. Currently driving, heading to my son's pre-K to kindergarten move-up ceremony. Just wanted to say thank you for all you do, Dr. Auger. Team SC all day. Dude, people just, like, whether it's Becky Gaylord getting the GRC job, Jason getting the Newport job, Lazaro's kid graduating pre-K to K, there's wins all over the place. Let's go. Heck yeah, man. Get that kid a fribble, or I don't even think friendlies exist anymore, but get that kid a popsicle, Lazaro. He's earned it. All right, so check it out. Couple thing. Oh, wait, hold on.
Google Cloud and Cloudflare outages reported yesterday.
Oh, hold on. I wasn't sure if we had finished the story. All right, so couple things here. Okay, couple things here. Really, from a defensive perspective, okay, there's not much you want to do that's different than what you normally would do, okay? Like, this is an instance where there's a threat actor using a really robust tool to attack Microsoft Entra. And there's some lesson learned here, but for the most part, you yourself, right, John P., Elliot Matisse, Brews and Hacks, Game Lara, like, we as practitioners, we should just be doing the same things. Like, these are the type of attacks that we can't predict, that our defense in depth should be able to mitigate down the risk of attack and or reduce the impact if they are successful, and or make detection of this very easily. Now, a couple things that jump out the way. Number one, this is not new, okay? Using a robust commercial grade tool for a threat actor is not new. One needs only look at Cobalt Strike. Cobalt Strike is like one of the most popular or, kind of well-known post-exploitation frameworks, and threat actors use them all the time. Famously, the Conti ransomware gang, they literally had a legit license for Cobalt Strike. They had set up shell companies and stuff like that. So they had a supported version with 24/7 customer success experts at Cobalt Strike ready to help them. So this isn't new. One thing that is interesting is that the tool comes from Trusted Sec, which is Dave Kennedy's company. Dave Kennedy is like a really, really OG celebrity cybersecurity practitioner. He runs Trusted Sec and Binary Defense, which is basically like the services side. I believe it's like one's the offensive side and one is the MSP. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm almost positive that's what the two are. Lara Flores celebrating 2 years. Nice, Lara. Thank you for being here. It's been nice all these years and getting to meet you and your son at Simply CyberCon 2024. So, it sucks. I'm sure Dave's like a little beat up about this. Now, this is on GitHub, which means anyone can download it, okay? You can see this is the logo, right? Like the smiley face with the eye patch right here. Trusted Sec. Just so you know that I'm not making crap up. See, there's the logo with the shirt and stuff like that. I don't see Dave in any of these pictures, but trust me, it's Dave's company. Anyone can download this. Dave Kennedy made a social engineering toolkit, SET. So if you're familiar with SET, that's Dave. Another thing to point out really quickly, again, this campaign is a problem. It sucks. If you run Microsoft Entra, there's a couple things you can look for here, and I'll dig into that in a second, but I'm trying to give you more. This is one of those stories where I feel like it's more like there's a bunch of meta stuff to know. Another thing to point out, the threat actor is, their identifier is UNK_sneaky strike. Just so everyone knows, again, I had to learn this the hard way, okay? The UNK is a prefix for unknown. So unknown _ sneaky strike, excuse me. This can also, Dave made Trevor C2. Oh, that's right. That is right. Thank you. Daniel Lowry knows. Daniel Lowry is like a offensive security dude, right? And Dave is offensive security dude. So they're brothers from another mother. Plus similar size, both larger dudes. UNK is unknown. So this is either A, unknown, meaning they can't 100% attribute all activities to sneaky strike, or they don't have enough information on this particular threat actor, but it's getting more, it's like getting more known, right? So I feel like this prefix you should think of as like a confidence marker on this particular threat actor, okay? 80,000 accounts targeted, hundreds of organizations, could be yours. Let's see. The way that they were able to identify it was a rare user agent the tool uses. User agents can be modified. Now, if you are a script kid, right, and I'm not saying that to be marginalizing. I'm just saying if you just go on GitHub, download this, and run it, those user agents are going to be there. User agents are ridiculously simple to change if you know how to do it, right? So the fact that the user agents were showing up leads me to believe that this threat actor was just like, download, point, shoot, number goes up, okay? They do say that there's some hard-coded client IDs in the tool's logic that can be modified as well. Remember, this is GitHub. All the source code is right there. You can modify it. This threat actor did not take the time to do that. So when I see things like that, I immediately think of the level of sophistication of the threat actor. This would not be a nation-state threat actor using this. This would be a financially motivated, very likely threat actor, or ideologically motivated that isn't super sophisticated. Sophisticated enough to know to use it, but not sophisticated enough to be thinking about analysis and detection around the tool and the tool use. Kind of like just smash it in there and see what they get. All right, let's keep going.
Affected services such as Google Home, Nest, Snapchat, Discord, Shopify, and Spotify, as well as creating access authentication failures and Cloudflare Zero Trust warp connectivity issues. Down Detector received tens of thousands of reports with impacted users experiencing Cloudflare and Google Cloud Server connection, website, and hosting problems. The issue started around 1:15 p.m. Eastern Time and was being resolved throughout the afternoon.
Oh, come on. No details? No junior engineer vibe coding in production? Come on. Many of you, I assume many of you were aware of this yesterday. It reports a massive Google Cloud outage, but guys, there was a lot of things out, including a lot of AI. I personally was using Claude when this outage began, and if you haven't been here before, when a website doesn't load fast enough, I immediately turn into like rage against the machine. I'm just rawr! And I was like asking Claude a question, and then it just hung, and I was like, oh my god, like this is how dependent I've become on AI that like if Claude's not working, I'll just wait longer. I was like, I was writing the introduction for Tanya Jenka's interview yesterday, so I could have done it, but I was just like, and then you go to Down Detector, and it looks like everything's down. I really was hoping for some type of, lesson learned or root cause analysis, RCA. We didn't get one of those yet, but honestly, initially, I thought it was a nation-state threat. And then my initial thought was nation-state attack. Then I thought no, because if I was a nation-state, I would not attack on Thursday afternoon. That gives defenders like too much time to get sorted out and attack. If you're gonna bring down something, you got to go, Saturday night, like, or Friday night, like, midnight Friday night, or like 2 a.m. Saturday morning, like, or shit. I mean, geez, look at what North Korea did with the Bangladesh bank heist. Like, don't just choose a random day. Why not choose a day when most people get cracked? I'm trying to think of a word that means intoxicated that isn't a swear. Like, every single one I go to is like a swear. Where people imbibe large amounts of alcohol in celebratory fashions, where they would be a compromised engineer and an ability to respond to an incident. Like, New Year's Eve would be a good one, or the day before Thanksgiving. I know that's quite popular with the youngs. Just things like that. You would be deliberate. Crunk. Thank you, EK Burger Picards. Hey, I didn't swear, did I? Squad members, drop in the swear jar. I don't know. So anyways, we don't know what it is. It took about an hour and a half, 2 hours to rectify. My prevailing theory is junior engineer with a BGP update. We'll see. Core Cloudflare services were not impacted. Yeah, so it was a Google infrastructure issue. Guys, I do want to show you, or I want you to think just for a minute. This is how integrated and entangled Google is in our, functional society, where if Google has a problem, it trickles all the way up. I got to tell you, I know Claude API was down, Gemini API was down. Obviously, that's Google's. OpenAI's API was down. I started checking the major ones. If you're a business, a SaaS product or whatever that uses AI, which so many are doing now.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Like, you were down as well. So yeah, this is a supply chain risk, but not one you can really do anything about with. Tony Jack with a super chat. Thanks, Tony Jack. It's good to have you here. I hope you're getting value from the show. Everybody, get your coffee on, please.
Homeland Chairman Mark Green announces his departure. The Tennessee Republican, who chairs the House Homeland Security Committee, has announced his pending retirement from Congress, which could place additional pressures on the fate of cyber legislation. Cyberscoop said, quote, as head of the committee, Green championed cyber workforce legislation as his top priority and recently called for a vote on the measure on the House floor. He has supported reauthorizing a cybersecurity 2015 information sharing law that expires in September, end quote. Green said he would leave for an unspecified job in the private sector following a final vote on the president's big, beautiful bill.
All right. So, this guy could be leaving for numerous reasons. I mean, he put a law in place. Oh, he didn't put that law in place. I don't know how long this guy's been in office. But he chairs the House Homeland Security Committee, which has to do with, money, and I'm assuming kind of national security cyber initiatives, certainly cyber legislation. He's supporting reauthorizing the 2015 information sharing law. Information sharing is huge in our industry. Threat actors for numbers of years had asymmetric advantage over victims or over, us, because they could share tooling and intel, and, it was kind of like poo-pooed or mum's the word or whatever you want to say to share information like, oh, we got breached, or, oh, we're seeing these things, right? It was almost like hoarding information for the sake of, privacy, which we've gotten away from that. So now businesses do share intel. There are information sharing analysis center groups for almost every major critical infrastructure industry, as well as some others. So, this is really good. The workforce legislation, I'm not really sure. He says it's his top priority. We'll see. Guys, the U.S. federal government has tried for years to have standard taxonomies for cyber workforce. Go look at, oh my God, there is a taxonomy. I can't believe it. I spent a lot of time with it when I was at Haiku. And I can't remember it now, but it breaks it into all these different roles, engineers, management, all these things, and then further refines it into what skills and tasks and attributes those roles should have and exhibit. It's a really comprehensive, taxonomy of cyber workforce, but no one's using it. We have all these tools and all this protocol and all this process, and then people are just like, I need a InfoSec analyst, right? Like just a jack of all trades, a Jill of all trades. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Anusha H. The Chiron. This thing right here, this scrolling ticker, it is to help remind you of stories that have passed, as well as get your beak wet for the upcoming ones that we'll be talking about. This guy's going to be voting on, this massive bill that's going through right now that is very hotly discussed in the news. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. I have like a cynical, thoughtful hot take on this guy's decision to retire right now, right after he votes on this bill. But I'll reserve it because it's not really cyber related. Maybe ask me in jaw-jacking.
Fog ransomware attack uses employee monitoring software and a pen testing tool. This attack on a financial institution in Asia in May deployed the Fog ransomware tool by using a legitimate employee monitoring software called Syteca, Syteca.
I'm sorry, really quickly. Chris Rock says straight cash, homie. And it does bring up another point that is worth mentioning. This guy's leaving to go to a private sector job. You're going to get paid so much more in the private sector. And, there's supposed to be some conflict of interest protections in place, but that line is getting blurred. So, yeah, this guy's going to go make some money. And why not? He did his civil service. Like, go get paid, dude. He's not retiring, I'll tell you that.
Paired with the GC2 penetration testing tool. A report from Symantec says the GC2, quote, allows an attacker to execute commands on target machines using Google Sheets or Microsoft SharePoint List and exfiltrate files using Google Drive or Microsoft SharePoint documents. Although the researchers are not sure of the role played by Syteca, James Maud, who is field CTO at Beyond Trust, said threat actors, quote, typically use legitimate commercial software during attacks to reduce the chances that their intrusions are detected by security tools, end quote.
All right. So a couple things. This is Asia financial markets. So if you are responsible for information security in the Pacific Rim, Asia area, and you are in the financial space, this definitely should catch your attention because Fog ransomware, the threat actor group, that is their target, right? So you've got increased, activity. Really, if you work in any business anywhere in the world, you are a target of ransomware. So if you're not doing the basics right now, right? If you're not doing tabletop exercises, end user awareness, multi-factor authentication, all those things, if you're not doing those things, then don't worry about Fog ransomware. You need to just worry about basic cyber hygiene and getting yourself straightened out from any ransomware attack. But if you are doing the basics and you want to level up and spend, and this is why GRC is awesome, right? If you wanted to spend your $1, right? You're a kid at the fair, right? Your dad gives you $5, your mom gives you $5, and they're like, go off and run. And you're running around and like fried dough's $5, candy's like, 3 for $5. You can ride the roller coaster for $5. You can ride the teacups for $2 and then buy a hot dog for $3, right? You've got a lot of options, but what you can't do is you can't ride the roller coaster and get the fried dough and get the candy cane and eat the hot dogs. You have to pick and choose. And this is what GRC does for information security. We help the organization understand where the highest value risk reduction is for the resources or money, people, time that we have available. And that's that, right? So to use my stupid example, we might say, hey, your best bet here is to ride the roller coaster because you just ate lunch, so all the food options don't really matter. You're not going to be able to brush your teeth for like 2 days because whatever, you're traveling. I don't know. So the candy's a bad option. Of all the rides, the roller coaster's the longest one, so you'll get the most, length of play out of that investment. So go do that. So you make a deliberate choice. So anyways, here we go. Fog ransomware. They are using legitimate tools and living off the land. They're using designed, developed C2 infrastructure and post-exploitation tools, specifically the GC2. I've never heard of GC2 before. But one thing, and I'll move on to this after this. One thing I want to point out, and this was told to me by Mike Saunders, and I'm sure Chris Rock right now is like, nodding his head, maybe rubbing his chin. If you can send data in and out, if you can check data with an API or anything, it can be a C2. A C2 is command and control. A C2 is just your ability as an attacker or fog ransomware in this instance to be able to command a compromised asset in order to have it do something. Download additional malware. Turn on an info stealer. Exfil data to you. Like whatever it is you want it to do, C2 is the vehicle for commanding and controlling those compromised assets. And if you can get it to see anything, it's good to go. So the reason I say that is because this isn't some crazy next level, Dr. Evil sharks with lasers type move. They're using Google Sheets, the same thing you use to like put a shopping list together or something like that, or Microsoft SharePoint list, Google Forms, Twitter posts, Telegram posts, LinkedIn posts. It doesn't matter. Slack channel comments, Discord. If you can put something somewhere and someone can retrieve it, it can be a C2. All right? This is why you should be looking for beaconing, which is a common indicator of C2, meaning like programmatic increments of reaching out to certain assets with like a cadence and a frequency that's predictable. That's usually indications of C2. But just know C2 can happen any which way, left, right, or center. And then this one, they're using Google Sheets. Plus, I want to point out, you know why we would use Google Sheets or Google Drive or Microsoft SharePoint? Because if you see google.com in your logs or office.com or Azure or OneDrive, you're not going to think twice about it. You're going to say that's normal traffic. And the threat actor is going to keep going on their merry way.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, Vanta. Is your manual GRC program slowing you down? There's something more efficient than spreadsheets, screenshots, and manual processes, and that's Vanta. With Vanta, GRC can be so much easier, while also strengthening your security posture and driving revenue for your business. Vanta automates key areas of your GRC program, including compliance, risk, and customer trust, and streamlines the way you manage information. The impact is real. A recent IDC analysis found that compliance teams using Vanta are 129% more productive. Get back time to focus on strengthening security and scaling your business. Get started at vanta.com/headlines. That is vanta.com/headlines.
Hey, really quickly, continuing the trend of today being big wins for everybody in wrecking balls, Martin Peluso, who's on LinkedIn, which means you won't be able to tag Martin, says, I started a new job on site next week. This will be my last live show for a while. Enjoy joining you all live for the cool sounds of the hot news. Have a love. So, hey, Martin. Noise. Guess what, Martin? When the time comes and you're ready, your schedule changes, whatever, we'll be here, 8 a.m. Eastern time, cooking. All right. Holy crap, what a day, guys. You guys are setting the tone already. We see Jess Bishop and Deb Wigley in chat. My goodness, people. It is a Friday to remember. Just quick shout out to the stream sponsors, Antisyphon, Threat Locker, Barricade. Oh, I didn't run the Threat Locker ad, did I? I got to run the Threat Locker ad. Real quick shout out to the Midnight. I'm wearing their merch right now. I freaking love this band. They just released a new song, Digital Dreams. Go check it out. Let me run the, I'm going to stop the music. Let me run the Threat Locker ad. We'll get that sorted. And then we'll do James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. Dad jokes of the week. I'll be in chat while Threat Locker runs. See you in 30 seconds. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Hero support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. Thank you very much, ThreatLocker, and thank you very much, every one of you. Jess Bishop, I know it's early, Jess. I don't know if you want to come on the panel. We do panels every single Friday. Let me see if Jess Bishop joined the panel for AMA. We'll see if we can get Jess Bishop. It's always tricky because sometimes people are like in their PJs and they don't want to come on. Guys, every single day of the week has a special segment, and Fridays is James McQuiggan at 35,000 Feet's Dad Jokes of the Day. I want to let you know this grew out of Grayson's Joke of the Week, so shout out to Grayson for OG in this thing. But James McQuiggan has been running this one for 2 years. He always messages me jokes. He's always on top of it. And just like a good business continuity plan, Michelle Khan is our backup if we ever have to break the glass in case of emergency, just so you guys know. So shout out to Michelle Khan, and of course, shout out to James McQuiggan. If you do see this beautiful man in public, do give him a proper high five. He is amazing. He's such a positive person. If you've met him, you know what I'm talking about. Shout out James McQuiggan. All right, guys. James McQuiggan's Joke of the Week. It is Father's Day this weekend, so shout out to all the dads in chat. Did you hear the joke about the guy who invented Tic Tacs? Oh my God. Marcus Kyler, did you hear the joke about the guy who invented Tic Tacs? Well, they said he made a mint. All right. All right. Did you hear about the big Lego sale? Roswell, UK gets mad if you say Legos. Did you hear about the big Lego sale? People were lined up for blocks. Oh my God. Did you hear about the guy who was addicted to brake fluid? Did you hear about the guy who was addicted to brake fluid? Seriously, the guy had a problem. He insisted he could stop at any time, too. Oh my God. I don't read these in advance, guys. Did you hear about the guy who invented the door knocker? Did you hear about the guy who invented the door knocker? Very famous. He was in the news because he won a Nobel Prize. Did you hear the population in Ireland capital is growing? It's Dublin. It's Dublin. Oh my God, that might be the best one. All right. Did you hear about the town that legalized pot but banned alcohol? The residents were left high and dry. High and dry. All right. And then finally, did you hear about the ATM that is only providing coins? Did you hear about the ATM that's only providing coins? I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense, right? All right. I feel like Father's Day is James McQuiggan's Olympics. Like, it's the day he circles on the calendar. He's like, finally, every dad joke I can unleash. All right. Hey, everybody. That's your James McQuiggan Jokes of the Week. Get ready. Alpha Sierra is going to lead us off, but we got the la-la-la-la-las coming, so you know what to do. Thank you, James. All right. Great work, everybody. Let's finish strong, shall we?
Windows releases emergency update to fix easy anti-cheat blue screen of death. Microsoft has released an out-of-band Windows 24H2 update to address a problem in which blue screen of death errors were triggered on systems with Easy Anti-Cheat, which is a popular service installed with many multiplayer games to prevent cheating while playing online. The update is a revised version of the Windows 11 cumulative update released during this month's Patch Tuesday.
All right. This is crazy, man. I mean, I get it. But, like, we're talking about this massive Microsoft Entra 80,000 attacks, right? Fog ransomware hitting Asia. Interesting C2.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Jess Bishop, got a hop. Meeting time. Always great to see you. Jess Bishop, thanks for taking a minute and being here. And thanks for the super chat, of course. But love myself some Jess Bishop. Great person. Great story on security operations analyst. Anyways, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, Jess Bishop. Okay, so, guys, here's the deal with this one. There's a piece of technology that was causing a blue screen. Windows has patched it. Like, okay.
Graphite spyware used in Apple iOS zero-click attacks on journalists. A forensic investigation by Citizen Lab has confirmed...
Roswell says, why was it patched? I mean, it's just, there was some conflict. Like, this isn't... If you wanted to shoehorn this into cybersecurity, you could say this is an availability thing. If you are a video game company or you're a video game player and you're playing on games that use Easy Anti-Cheat as the anti-cheat engine underneath, you may be seeing blue screens of death. I feel like 90% of us at work are not going to be experiencing or seeing this problem because, frankly, there's work machines. Now, if you've got, bring your own device and you've got, Jill, on the Unix team who's got her feet kicked up and she's just, automated her job fully. And now she's just like basically playing World of Warcraft or whatever, then yeah, maybe you're going to get that. But like, I don't feel like these calls are coming into support desk, right? It is super common according to Jay Crypto, but I don't know. It's you got to patch it. It's simple. I mean, this is a nothing story.
That Paragons Graphite spyware was used in zero-click attacks targeting iPhones of at least 2 journalists in Europe. The attacks exploited a then-unknown vulnerability with a CVE number in iOS 18.2.1, which allowed malicious photographs or videos shared via iCloud links to compromised devices. Apple notified the victims on April 29th, identifying the spyware as advanced. The Graphite platform is believed to be part of Paragon's mercenary spyware operations. The flaw has since been patched by Apple.
Okay. God, like this is like the most hot take, right? Like, this spyware has been described as, quote, advanced. You think? It's a zero-click, complete iPhone takeover. Saying it's advanced is like this, like. I think my 10-year-old could have like sorted that bit out. Guys, Pegasus software rules the roost. They're essentially like Kleenex or Band-Aid. They when you say spyware, most people think Pegasus, right? They've owned the market on spyware, but don't sleep on those competitors. And Graphite, I guess, from Paragon Software is another one. There's another one that's really popular called Predator. TLDR, they're very expensive. And they're just weapons, guys. Like, as much as Nicolas Cage in Lord of War or Jonah Hill or whoever it was, like, if you're a mercenary, if you're a private army, if you're a person in power and control, you're going to buy weapons to, ensure your control, stifle your adversaries or your critics, and basically persist. Well, in 2025, when we have technology ubiquitously deployed everywhere, and the way that we operate functionally in society depends on technology. I mean, Jesus, look no further than Google going down yesterday and that causing a hot mess express. Then look maybe a month ago when IT went down in Portugal and Spain, and people were like losing their friggin' mind, right? Like borderline first couple hours of Walking Dead, like just like, or, the Last of Us. Okay, so these tools are highly coveted, very effective, and frankly, very big money. Zero click, and I've said this before, but it's worth noting. Zero click means I send this to you and you're compromised. You don't have to be involved with it. The victim doesn't have to do anything. Remember, you can't stop me from sending you a text message. You can't stop me from calling you. You can stop me from calling you if I've called you once before, because you can block the number. But the first time, unless you're going to block literally every single combination of number and only, allow certain phone calls to come in. But who's doing that? Nobody's doing that, right? That would be dumb.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
So, anyways, your Apple phones, dear executives, your Apple iPhones can be compromised. In fact, surprise, threat actors know this. So that's why they charge more for these type of attacks and why they invest in these type of attacks. If you wanted to, like, here's the thing. I have an Apple iPhone. I guarantee you nobody is spending the $500,000 or whatever per install for this software on me. I'm not that interesting. I do love myself the midnight, and I do have a soundboard here, but I don't think anyone's dropping $500,000 trying to get me, right? Now, if you're an investigative journalist, you are at risk. If you are a civil rights advocate, you are at risk. If you are a politician or a aspiring politician running against the popular or current in power regime, you could be at risk. So just be mindful of that. I would say you could see here that they say in the graphic, found on device. So there certainly are indicators of compromise. There are indicators of compromise, but I don't know what they are. You'd have to look at it. Really quick, Jesse Johnson is reporting in right now. Hold on, let me pretend like I'm a reporter in the studio and Jesse Johnson's like in the field. Hold on, we have breaking news coming in right now. Yes, Jesse Johnson is in the field and he's reporting that Darknet Diaries does in fact have a killer story around zero-click Pegasus software installs. Yes, he is confirming you should check this out as soon as possible to get more informed on this topic. Thank you, Jesse Johnson. We'll check back with you in a little bit on your reporting.
Sinotrack GPS device flaws lead to remote vehicle control and location tracking. CISA is warning of 2 vulnerabilities in Sinotrack GPS, that is SINO track GPS devices, that can be exploited to access a vehicle's device profile, track its location, or even cut power to the fuel pump, depending on the model. The 2 vulnerabilities have CVE numbers and have CVSS scores of 8.3 and 8.6. Sinotrack apparently uses the same default password for all units and does not require changing it during setup. Since the username is simply the device ID printed on the label, someone could easily gain access either by physically seeing the device or even spotting it in online photos, such as on eBay. CISA is urging users to change their default passwords and hide the device IDs. No public exploitation of the vulnerabilities has yet been recorded.
This is what I'm talking about, guys. I literally spoke to the state of Georgia state agency CIOs, so like 60 different CIOs, on Tuesday morning. I gave a 1-hour private talk around supply chain. And during the Q&A portion, someone asked me, like, should they be thinking about, or what, like, where should they be putting post-quantum encryption on their, like, roadmap? And I'm like, it's very cool, but right now we have devices with hard-coded default passwords and usernames printed on the outside of the machine. You don't need to worry about, like, Star Trek 4D chess level 1000 IQ moves by threat actors. They literally will just log in with admin. That's where you really... I get it. Hey, listen, I get it. It's not sexy. It's not cool. No one's getting elected for changing default credentials. But you know what? You and I know how valuable and important it is. All right, so you can... It says allow remote vehicle control. location tracking is one thing, right? Because this is a GPS device. It beacons where it is. Remote vehicle control, to me, again, as a GRC professional, when I see these things, my immediate thought is, what is the impact, right? Like, if this is low impact, I don't really give a flip because I got a lot of things to worry about. And, like, location tracking, while it's not good, it's not super bad. Now, again, remember, if this is, it depends on what's tracking, okay? So if you're tracking, like, a gas truck, then not great, but, I mean, come on. This isn't Mad Max and Thunderdome, like, where, like, a gas truck is one of the most valuable things on the planet. This is 2025. There's gas trucks everywhere. So, like, tracking that, I'm not worried about. Now, if this was, like, unmarked federal law enforcement cruisers that they're taking to their homes, that's a problem, right? Because I don't want a threat actor to be able to track where a federal law enforcement officer lives with their family, right? So that, the calculus changes depending on the variables. And that's why you'll always hear information security professionals say, it depends. Like, oh, it depends. Like, come on. Well, it does depend. Now, remote vehicle control. This takes the impact, like, to 11. All right? This is like Spinal Tap turning the dial. Like, what? It went from GPS telling you where things are, like GPS does, to I can drive you into a ravine. That doesn't seem right. Like, why is this thing able to control? I'm going to just go a little bit deeper here. I'm now searching in the story, and come on. The word control shows up 23 times on this page, yet somehow I'm not seeing it. Grant me grace for just 1 minute, because the researchers warn that it could allow you to cut power to the fuel pump. All right, cutting power to the fuel pump is a little bit different than take remote control over the system. I mean, come on. And it's not even guaranteed. I hate to use the word hate because that's such an extreme comment, but like remote vehicle control, cutting off gas is disabling the vehicle. Like, I don't think of that as control. The work that Charlie Miller did with the Jeep Cherokee, the work that we've seen different researchers do, where they can make the car swerve, they can make the car accelerate, that is remote vehicle control. Stopping fuel to allow the vehicle to stop working, that's really more of an availability attack. How about devices can allow attackers to disable the vehicle? Like, let's go with that. All right? Words matter to me, okay?
Airgapped data could be stolen via smartwatches, says researcher.
I'm calling it right now. This is academic research from some university somewhere. Let's see if I'm right.
Technique for exfiltrating data from air-gapped systems through a smartwatch is being developed by a researcher from the Ben Gurion University of the Negev.
Yep.
Mordecai Guri says the technique, called Smart Attack, uses a smartwatch's built-in microphone to capture covert ultrasonic signals within range of 18 to 22 kilohertz, successfully enabling data theft based on certain environmental conditions. It must be said, however, that to succeed, a previous infiltration is required to implant malware that would transmit information using the infected machine's speakers in a frequency range that makes sounds inaudible to humans.
Oh my God. I mean, what? All right. Listen, if you guys didn't know, because I don't really walk around friggin' beating my chest, but like I have a PhD. I've done rigorous academic research. I wrote, I don't know if you can see it, but like right back here is a book I wrote, which you have to do to get a PhD, right? You have to write this like really, it's basically academic hazing. You have to write this like really dry, super thorough book on your research. So I get it. I am not poo-pooing on academic research. What I am poo-pooing on is that like this dude, okay, like, great work, man. You did something fun. But, like, I'm not going to the CIO and being like, oh, we got a policy in place. No smartwatches. None. Give me your smartwatch right now. And then, like, I like, throw it and it explodes like it's an Adult Swim cartoon. No. Okay. Yes, air gap systems Air-gapped systems are systems that are not on the network. And air-gapped systems is a very, very effective control at protecting systems because you can't remote into them. However, they can still be compromised. Look no further than the uranium enrichment plant in Natanz, Iran, in 2012, where the United States and Israel launched a cyber attack called Stuxnet and destroyed that plant. That plant was air-gapped. They had a malware get written in on a malicious USB device that somebody plugged in. So air-gapped isn't perfect, but it does work. In 2025, you don't see a lot of air-gapped networks. Some OT systems will be air-gapped, not because of design, but because of just because they were built in the 70s and they literally don't plug into the IT network. Jeremy Williams from the Boo Boo Bus coming in hot with a squad membership. Good to see you, Jeremy Williams. Okay, so now that we've figured out air-gap, let me throw water on this story and tell you why it's ridiculous. Number one, using a smartwatch within very specific frequency to emit data. They didn't say it in the story, but I have to imagine. Is it going to say how, like, hold on. I can't find the cue. This probably transmits bits per second, okay? This is probably slower. I know, Stuxnet, they burned 4 days. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that is real nation-state threat acting. Listen, this story right here, I've seen other stories just like this, okay? So like this, even this technique of transmitting data this way is not novel. It's been done before. They're transmitting bits per second, I bet you, like very, very low bandwidth. So yes, you can exfil data, but if you're trying to exfil any amount of data of significance, you better pack a lunch because you're not going anywhere. Plus, you definitely have to have the watch within a certain range of the compromised device for it to transmit over radio. So you got to be close to it anyways. So if you're at like a military base, good luck getting near the system. Number 3, and probably the most important one, you have to compromise the system in the first place to put custom malware on it to have it emit the data you're going to be exfilling. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, if you can get to the system and put malware on it, just friggin' take the data then. What are you doing? Going around your elbow to wipe your butt? Like, dude, hit it. Hit it now. There's a million other options. Like, plug in malware that exfils. Plug in a device that writes to a disk. Go to Hack5. They have tons of devices you can plug in line that do info stealing. Like, there's so many options that you don't need a 1994 BBS level speeds for data exfil. Oh, get your 2400 baud modem out. We're going to be getting our smartwatches going. Like, this is fine. And this makes a big splash. And this guy, you know what? This guy's in the news, and I've never been in the news. So, like, good on him. And I hope he makes it a conference talk and blows up his personal brand. But in the world of cybersecurity, like real cybersecurity where you and I live, this is nowhere near our risk register. Like, this is cute. That's it. All right, let's cook. Best podcaster cyber news, Rothnir, my man. Also, really quick shout out. Rothnir is the one. If you are watching on replay, you can go into the comments, and Rothnir actually puts markers for everybody. And I pin those comments every time I see them. So thank you for your effort, Rothnir. All right, guys. Now that I've lost my mind about academic research, don't go anywhere, everybody. Great show today, episode 898 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief. We are going to be pivoting to a AMA mentoring panel, mentorship for everybody. Guys, I want to let everyone know, if you didn't know, we are running a Father's Day special at Simply Cyber Academy right now. 20% off for everybody. Moms, dads, dad figures, mom figures, grandpa figures. If you like hockey, how about that Oilers last night? Damn, that was hot. Use DAD20 at Simply Cyber Academy and get 20% off all the courses you want. I love it. And yeah, it's just a thing we're doing for the community. It's all about good times. It's all about just having a killer weekend. And if you are driving 16 hours tomorrow, shout out to you. I know it's a very small group, but I'll be in that party. So good luck, everybody. All right, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Don't go anywhere because we're going to be getting into a panel. I see Daniel Lowry himself in the green room, so we're going to get on with that. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Until next time, stay secure. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the party. My name is Jerry Guy. I'm bringing you this AMA Jawjacking show. This is a podcast for 30 minutes. What we will be doing over the next hour is asking you to ask questions, and we will answer them. We're going to be joined by a couple cybersecurity professionals. This is Mentoring at Scale. We are here to help you. Don't be shy. No stupid questions. The goal here is to help you level up and kick as much butt as you can. I want you to have to go buy new boots because you've done so much butt kicking. You've worn the toe out on your boots. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's go ahead and grab our friend Daniel Lowry. Let me turn my mic off. Or let me adjust my microphone. We got this echo thing. I need a visit from Casually Joseph. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him as Daniel Lowry IRL. Friends call him Daniel Lowry. I think his kids call him Dad. Father's Day is right around the corner. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce Father, Cyber Pro, and all-around good guy, Daniel Lowry.
My kids call me Daniel Lowry.
You will refer to me as Daniel Lowry.
That's right. You're not too big for a very business-like handshake. So.
Yes. Congratulations on graduation.
Yes.
So,
get out of my house.
Let me know, everybody, how the audio is. I have been working tirelessly to get the audio well. I know Daniel Lowry always comes in super crispy and clean and looking good and sounding great. So, Daniel, what was the big thing this week for you, dude?
Oh, man. Big thing this week. Well, I'm working on a networking fundamentals course, or not a course, but like a series for AntiCiphon's YouTube. So that was fun. Did a bunch of vibe coding to create some really cool assets for that. So yeah, been playing with the AI a bit. And then last night I'm trying to be consistent when it comes to the YouTube channel, putting out content. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm going to do this week. So I'm looking at my LinkedIn feed, as one does. And I saw somebody had posted about, I want to move away from using netcat shells for CTF. So they've started utilizing things like interpreter shells instead for solving CTFs and doing boot to root challenges, things of that nature. And I was like, that's a really good idea. And not only that, but like, what about just more proper C2 frameworks? I'm like, you already have an environment that you're allowed to dump these implants into, bring it back, and you could learn a new tool, a new skill set by continuing to do, like, isn't that the point of doing CTFs? Isn't that the point of doing try hack me and hack the box, is to learn new stuff? Yeah. So I was like, let's make a video. So today I'm just got done exporting the video. I got to upload it into YouTube, so it's available for this evening. But we gain an initial foothold into a CTF boot to root challenge using Metasploit framework, using Sliver C2, and Empire and Starkiller. So showing you how to do all that. So I've been a busy boy this morning. I filmed this morning. Yeah.
So Daniel Lowry, if you guys don't know, he has a YouTube channel. He's been making content forever. He's a really great guy. Content for other people, but now Daniel Lowry's the boss of Daniel Lowry. So he's making great content. I love it. Last week you were doing a rat, right? Install. How did that rat install go?
So yeah, we did that on Cybercast IRL. I did that live. We downloaded it from GitHub. It was called Chaos Rat. So we installed it, ran it, got the implant, stuck it on a box. Communications galore. Is actually it was a nice stripped down, straightforward C2 for doing simple things like information gathering and a little bit of, like, if you wanted to do some hands-on keyboard stuff, you could. We don't recommend that in real world engagements, but it does have that capability. It was very nice. You work everything through a web browser interface. So yeah, Yeah, it went really well. It was a lot of fun.
I love it. Very accessible to everybody. All right. Hey, so let's get into the chat. Guys, I love it. Simply Cyber Community, Team SC, you guys are dropping questions. Daniel and I are going to answer them. This one is like right in your wheelhouse, Daniel. My friend Nerman, this guy is awesome, by the way. I met him at Simply CyberCon. By the way, Simply CyberCon is November 3rd, 2025. The website is up. CFP is open. So if you're interested in submitting for a talk, we'll drop that. But like, this guy's awesome. This is right in your wheelhouse, Daniel. You are a hardware hacker. He wants to know what skills are important for working in cyber on medical devices. And then he mentions UART and hardware interfaces, which probably piques your interest, sir.
Yes, it does. Well, I'll give you the long story short of it. The FCC ID on the device, that's going to let you kind of look onto the inside of the device before you ever even crack it open to see, does it have a UART? Does it have a JTAG? Does it have a, where are all these things located? Because you take that FCC ID and you can do a lookup of that specific device, and it has, by law requirement, pictures of the internals in that documentation. So when they submit for their device to be approved by the FCC, they have to provide internal pictures as well. So you can go look those things up. So that's a really neat thing. It's a great place to start, is doing FCC ID lookups. And then from there, if you're talking about UARTs, which is really good, you're going to need a piece of kit, right? You're going to need a Bus Pirates, which is a really good way to go. Oh man, there was another one. Bus Pirate is fairly ubiquitous.
That's
I like the Bus
one.
Pirate. Yeah. You can get something like a JTagulator, which is, I wouldn't recommend until you get a little farther down the road with these things, because it's a little more money. But Joe Grand, one of the OG hackers from back in the day, by the way, follow Joe Grand, go look him up, because the dude will teach you all sorts of amazing things when it comes to hardware hacking. Mike Brown is another person you should probably take a look at. He's got a great YouTube channel. I would check that out. His channel is all about hardware hacking. So if you really want to get into it, but there you go. There's a Bus Pirate. Thank you,
This is
Jerry.
what a Bus Pirate looks like. If anyone wants to, just to kind of put a physical look to what he's talking about, it allows you to plug directly into the UART.
Yeah.
And
it's between like $30 and $40, I think, right now. So easy piece of kit to get your hands on, and then learning how to determine what UART port is what. Like, what's the send port? What's the receive port? What's the ground port? Right? Do you need those things? What's the power port, so that you don't get them mistaken and then burn out your device? That would be bad. Do you have any
content on your channel on basically introduction to Bus Pirate?
I do. I have one for Bus Pirate for getting UART. So if you want to watch me do that, I do have a video for that. And I also have one that shows you how to use a multimeter to check the UART port for which pin is which, so that you can solder the correct pins on and connect to the right pins for connection, and how to use terminal emulators like Screen and Putty for gaining access to the actual shell environment, so that you can start kicking around in real time. And that gets really handy as, it's one thing to download firmware and look through the firmware using something like Binwalk. And that's something you should also learn. But to watch the firmware in real time, I've literally had a wireless router, and it was weirding out on me. It wasn't booting right. It wasn't starting right. It was going through like a boot loop. I'm like, what is going on? I cracked it open, found the UART, soldered some pins, connected it up, pulled it up in Screen, and was like, oh, it's trying to load. The firmware has been corrupted. I looked up the stuff on the website, and it said, oh, here's an alternative method for uploading firmware directly. So uploaded the correct firmware, the uncorrupted firmware, gained my device back. So it's a nice skill to have, because every now and then things go a little sideways on you. And then when you're watching stuff happen in real time, especially as a lot of things don't start up until the device is up. So yeah, I can go look at the web pages that are for the web interface for a device like a camera, or any IoT system that has a web interface. But a lot of times those things don't actually start making links and connecting and working. There's nothing there in the firmware until there's power to the device. So once you power the device up, then all of a sudden, all these new things light right up. And you're like, oh, what's all this stuff I couldn't really see or work with because there was no power to it? Now I have power to it.
Yeah.
You can see how things are working.
It's very similar to like dynamic analysis of malware where it gets loaded into memory, and like any type of anti-analysis, any type of obfuscation that the developer, the malware author did gets dismissed because it has to load into memory to be able to execute. All right, let's keep cooking. We got so many questions to get to. DP, who is a longtime member, does ask this question. Normally I try to like tiptoe around political things. Really quick, there was a story in the Daily Cyber Threat Brief today about a congressman who's retiring directly, not a congressman, I believe it was a senator, actually, who is going to retire right after they vote on the big, beautiful bill as it is. My only opinion on this, and then we're going to go on, is my initial thought is it's curious that he's choosing to retire immediately after that. If he was already going to do that, sure. But I have seen some individuals who are in positions to speak out against this bill be targeted and, specifically like not invited to the White House anymore, including their extended generational families. So, some of this kind of reaction, I wonder if I guess, if this senator is thinking, well, I'm not going to vote for this and it's probably going to destroy my political career, so I'm just going to move on and do what's best for me and my family. Again, I don't know. I'm not super well informed. This is not a political show, but because you asked, I was going to answer it. Jack Joy says, is submitting a talk for the digital conference about the challenges of changing careers, imposter syndrome, and the walls you face be worth it, or is it not the right kind for a conference? Daniel Lowry?
Yeah, I'm not. Which digital conference are we talking about?
I don't know what digital conference you're talking about. Maybe let's say let's talk about a conference it would be good for, and maybe a conference it may not be good for. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, that's probably a better idea. So when you're talking about imposter syndrome, B-sides, I feel like B-sides would be great for that.
100%. And Blue Team Summit.
Blue Team, nail. Thank you. You beat me to the punch. Look at you. Look at Jerry chiming in with no knowledge about Antisyphon, right? So those would be great places for talks like that. Now, isn't there like a is it CFP time or something like that? There's a website that has all available call for papers. It's escaping me right now. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that, but that's a good one.
I'll have to find that resource and send it to you so that you can drop it to your folks. But you can look through those anything that comes up. Obviously, people are going to be telling you, oh, I'm going to this con. So you just keep an ear to the ground about what cons people are going to. And then honestly, you could YOLO it to any con you want. Worst thing they can do is say, no, thank you. You're like, cool, moving on. You never know, though. They might be like, this is exactly what we're looking for. But if you want to increase your chances, then look for things that are along that lines, right? That are going to have beginners to intermediate to advanced people that are going to be there. If it's super high advanced, like RSA, probably not the con to drop that for.
Yep.
Just throwing that out there. Black Hat, DEF CON, probably not going to hit too hard with those. But that's why I like those local cons a whole lot better, it's much more accessible to everyone. And Jerry, you got a con. That sounds like something that you might want.
Oh, yeah. We do have simplycybercon.org. The CFP is open. Here's that resource that Daniel was talking about earlier of all these conferences, and this is worldwide. So I'll drop a link to this. Thank you for that resource, Daniel, and thank you, Justin Gold, for sharing it, and Code Brew for finding it and sharing it. So team effort here at Simply Cyber. I'll go ahead and pin that in YouTube. You can go to simplycybercon.org for our conference that's coming up. We literally have a Kimberly's got to update it, but we literally have the CFP open right now. If you want, you can see here. This is the call for speakers. And guys, we have one track that's completely dedicated to first-time speakers. You can be a second-time speaker, but for the most part, we're looking for first-time speakers. We want to empower people to take that first step. So yeah, Jack Joy, that is a valid topic. You just got to hit the right conference. 30 seconds, Daniel, on Zachary Berry. Tip for Sec Plus. for the practical part?
So this is the tip I always give when it comes to, especially things like CompTIA exams, where hey, put this in the correct order, and that kind of stuff. Is you know where you're strong, right? You know your strong suit, so that's great. That's the kind of stuff that you can just kind of like gloss over, especially as you get close to the 11th hour. You're getting ready to take your exam. You know also where you're weak because you hate that stuff. You're sitting there going, every time you look at it, you're like, encryption. Is my nose bleeding? And I got this horrible taste of metal in my mouth, right? Whatever that topic is, here's what you're going to want to do. Jump into that topic, grab the first thing that doesn't look comfortable, and go, I'm going to spend today, and I'm just going to learn about this organically. I'm going to ask ChatGPT. I'm going to go to websites. I'm going to read blogs. I'm going to maybe even spin up some stuff if I can in my lab environments, whatever the case is. And that's going to get you more familiar, more comfortable. And then once you feel like you've learned a bit about it, try to, and you don't have to publish it, but you want to do it with the idea in mind that someone else would read it and write a blog post about it, right? Like try to teach someone that stuff, either in written form, make a video. It doesn't matter if no one ever sees it. You just want to try to get it out of you in a way that makes sense. And then reread it, watch the video you made, do whatever you did, and look at it objectively and go, does this make sense? Oh man, I don't really cover that very well. So that's what I tend to do. Obviously, I make content for a living that really worked out for me, but that doesn't mean you can't do it too, just for yourself. And if you like what you did, publish it. Get other people to check it out. Get some close friends. Start there with people that you know that are in your circle. I know you know some people, and go, hey, this is eyes only, but would you be willing to check this thing out and look through it and see what you think about it? Give me some constructive criticism. And they'll tell you, oh, you didn't really talk about this, or I didn't understand when you were speaking about that. That might mean that you don't understand it very well. And I go, okay, we got to go back to that. And then you refine that piece of that puzzle. So I know that sounds like a lot to do, but honestly, that is how I learn things. So that's my advice. Yeah.
Great advice. And good luck to you on that Sec Plus. Definitely a great milestone early in your career. Space Tacos has a question here. What if you have plans on advancing, but you end up loving your current job so much that it's not attractive? Should I pursue CERT or advanced training? Space Tacos, yes, you should. Here's the deal. I say this all the time. Space Tacos, I want you to be the CEO of you. You love your job right now, but guess what? Like, just being real, let's say your boss goes and takes a better job and they replace your boss with nightmare fuel, right? Now your job that you love is made to be miserable. And because you stopped pursuing certs and advanced training, you're not in a position to move quickly and, take care of yourself. Just because you get training and certs and level yourself up like an absolute boss doesn't mean you have to take a new job. It means you can continue to do the job you love while also bolstering yourself as value. So definitely keep doing that. I don't want to see you get in a situation that sucks. Okay. And sometimes, like they're like, oh man, you're really good at this job. Like you obviously show passion for it. Here's 2 other jobs. When I left MUSC, I had 3 jobs. And by the way, like I'm starting to get pissed off about it, thinking about it. Like I got promoted. They're like, congratulations. You're like one of the best people here. Here's a promotion and a little bit of money. And I'm like, thanks. Who's going to do my other job? And they're like, we're going to hire someone. It's going to take a few months though. So can you just do it while we fired someone? And I'm like, sure. And then at my annual performance review, I'm like, hey, should we talk about my old job that I've been doing or my new job? Are we getting 2 performance reviews here? They're like, no. We're going to hire someone. And then I got promoted again. And I was like, I don't even want this promotion because who's going to do my current job? And they're like, don't worry. We're going to hire someone. And I was like, oh.
Jerry, the lie detector has determined that was a lie.
Yes. Oh my God. They're like, how far can we push you? What are some alternatives to Durbuster? It won't work on my Kali VM. Daniel Lowry, give us 30 seconds on Durbuster alternatives.
Sure, no problem. Durb, GoBuster, Ferox Buster, Fuff. You technically use Burp Suite, Zap. You can use either of those. Those right there. Boom.
There you Anything go. Else? And I think Jason Haddock speaks very highly of I don't know how to pronounce it, but the Buster that starts with an X, Xerox Buster or whatever. The Rust one.
So a Ferox Buster is Rust.
Yeah. Ferox, but
Yeah.
that one, the
I
one with
think
the
that's-
X.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure he talks very highly of that one.
It's
for
fast.
Speed. It's very
Yeah,
fast,
I actually
right?
compared it to Go Buster once just to kind of get a baseline. It was marginally faster, but it was faster overall. But there was like recursive searching. I think Go Buster, and that wasn't a part of Ferox Buster, at least at the time it did. One of them didn't do recursive searching. So, or you had to enable that function or something like that. One of them did it by default. I forget. So it's really kind of like you gotta kick around with some tools and see what you like, see what really, you try it on, see if it fits. And
I love it.
I like Ferox Buster. I tend to lean on Go Buster a lot just because that's what I've been using since I was knee high to a grasshopper.
Yeah, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Daniel, later today, Roswell UK is going to join us, but give us a teaser. What's the flavor?
Oh, should I tease the flavor? I mean, that's kind of half the fun, right? I don't want to give away the ghost at this point. Ghost.
All right. So Roswell UK, I guess you'll have to wait 37 minutes to see the pour.
Anticipation.
All right. Kerry's got a question. He's going to be installing VM with VirtualBox and getting his hands dirty with AD and Windows, hands-on ISS and servers. Do you recommend other stuff? I'll recommend, Kerry, inside Simply Cyber Academy. So go to academy.simplycyber.io. We have literally a full course called Hacking Active Directory that costs $0. It's instructed by Ryan Yeager, who is a longtime senior penetration tester trained by the Marine Corps. He's a retired Marine, and he learned there. You could take that whole course and learn all the nuances. He goes through all the tools. Bloodhound is one of them that gets in there, a bunch of other ones. Go do that, Kerry. You'll be like literally learning hacking AD.
Yeah. For did you say it was free 99? That's
yeah. I mean,
amazing price.
Yeah, if you like that price, if that works for you, go ahead and
can I get a discount code on that, Jerry?
Yeah, Dad 20. You can get 20% off $0 right now through the weekend. Lavincia says, I'm starting out in healthcare as a cyber development intern. With advice would you give for me standing out? Any advice will help me grow in the healthcare sector? Okay, so I worked in healthcare for a number of years, and I would say this for any intern position, honestly, but show up I know this is going to sound so like pedestrian, but like show up early, be engaged, ask questions. Don't check out at 5 p.m. Like I'm not saying work late or whatever, but like think like you should think of your internship as an extended job interview. That's what you should think about it. You should be trying to deliver value. You should be trying to demonstrate professionalism, a great social etiquette. Don't interrupt people. 2 ears, 1 mouth, listen more than you speak, right? Like absorb what's going on there. I personally built an internship program at MUSC when I was there, and I hired several interns. I also did not hire several interns, and it was like, it's a feeder system. And honestly, it's an extended job interview, right? Plus interns are junior, so it's lower salary, which means it's better for the budget and you can get more. It's trust me, congratulations. Healthcare is an amazing industry to work in. And you're gonna learn a lot. Like trust me, they need help. Wherever it is, whatever healthcare you're helping, they need help. Believe me. He says URAT. I definitely think he means UART. Can you explain UART? 30 seconds.
Yeah, so basically it is a port on a printed circuit board that allows you to gain administrative or diagnostic access to the system that is running on the system on a chip, right? So you have a chip that's embedded on most PCBs, and that is the thing that runs your wireless access point, your router. There you go. Yeah,
so the UART would be up here, right? With the ground and the TX.
Yes, correct.
Yep.
Usually it's 4 pins that you're looking for specifically. That has multiple pins, so it's a little more useful. But most devices, they just give you 4 separate pins. So if you look at a board and you see 4 pins kind of off all by its little lonesome, or just 4 little holes like that, maybe there's no pins actually soldered in it, but there's 4 little pinholes. That's a good possibility that might be a UART, a universal asynchronous receive and transmit. That's what UART stands for.
So what a nerd. What a nerd. this isn't a Tinity 85. Like, you know what this is, right? So this could
Oh,
work
there you
too.
go.
I mean, this only has 3.
Yeah, because you only need 3 technically.
Yeah.
But there's typically 4. One's for power, but if you're powering it, you don't. It's like if you're plugging into a device like a bus pirate, which is powered via USB, it is powering the UART, so you don't need the power plugged in.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is, I bought a bunch of these every year now at the Citadel. I do a fun lecture where I build rubber duckies with the students.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
Let them keep it. Yeah, it's fun. So yeah, I know people say, "Oh, Jerry, you're a GRC dork. You don't know how to do anything with technology." I do a couple things.
He
okay?
dabbles. He dabbles.
Yeah. Shop with me, lads. In the market for a new chair. Any suggestions?
Concrete blocks. That's what I use.
I like a milk crate. You know,
Yeah.
from time to time.
Put some nails on it. Maybe some
Fun-
broken glass.
I will tell you really quickly, fun fact, I was very poor. And when I was in college, I had concrete furniture. And when I had my first place out of college, concrete furniture. And you class it up by putting a board across the concrete and then one of those Mexican throw blankets. So now you have like nice looking shelves or nice looking place where you put your video game consoles. When my wife moved in with me, we must have lived together for like a week. And she's like, no, we're not doing this.
You should have seen the futon I slept on for about 5 years. It was the cheapest Walmart futon available. And when I say I slept on it for 5 years, I'm walking around about 255. That futon cushion gave me all about this much support.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It might as well have been hay on the ground.
Yeah. Let me just put a sheet over these steel bars.
Yeah. So I don't have a great recommendation, Faced Oil. What I would say is I would probably, if I was going to go buy a chair right now, I would probably not search on best office chairs because I feel like that's a market that gets inflated and marked up just because they know businesses and executives are going to be flexing. I would actually go look at gaming chairs that have been designed for people who sit 8, 10, 12 hours, who don't necessarily have deep pockets. So it's like literally design. Also, I don't know if they have the capability, but like I would probably get one. Like fancy cars now have air conditioning or heated seats. Like I would probably invest in one that could like cool or heat up because like sometimes when you sit for like a long period of time, your butt gets all sweaty. I don't know if anyone else has.
You need a Gooch fan.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Is that the proper term? So yeah. Anyways, that's what I would look at. But yeah. And by the way, I would get for me all black. I'm not gonna get one of these like neon green, neon white.
Yeah, they tend to be a little distracting for people that are on camera a lot to have this monstrosity of a throne behind you that's just going, look at me, look at me.
Yeah, exactly. Haircut Fish has a question around 3D printing, which I think you're into, Dan. I'm not.
I've never done 3D printing. No.
Okay, well then for the chat, do you think that Tinkercad circuit section would be a good place to start getting with hardware hacking in Arduino? Oh, this is, I guess, for you. It's free to get your hands in before buying in. So I don't know Tinkercad circuit section. Do you know that?
I'm assuming it's one of these where you can kind of design and get your own printed circuit boards.
Maybe.
I've seen stuff like that. Yeah, I haven't done any of my own before because I haven't built anything. I normally am just playing with stuff that's already built. So I want to say what that does.
All right. Well, if anyone in chat is got an answer for Haircut Fish, this is the same Haircut Fish who makes all the memes and gives so much to the community. If you can comment, just at the Haircut Fish and let him know. Sorry, Dan. The panel can't answer that one. It's too much. Besides years of experience, college, and CISP, what certs do you recommend to gain knowledge and become a security control assessor in any framework? I would get the ISACA CISA. That to me is, that's framework agnostic. Honestly, Trey, whether it's RMF, CMMC, CSF, ISO, CIS, like 80% of the controls are the same. They're just like rearranged a different way, or they're you look at them this way, not this way, but they're all 80% are going to be the same. You're doing vulnerability management, you're doing risk assessment, you're doing configuration management, you're doing access control and identity management. It's all the same. So CISA is definitely it's literally certified information security auditor, which an assessor is an auditor. It's just depending on what your results are going to render, whether you're delivering like risk reduction value or you're just, doing a checkbox or whatever. So that's your answer. Computer Cyber KW is asking this question like repeatedly. Oh wait, this is a different one. He was asking about some tools or something earlier, but he can depend on TryHackMe and HackTheBox, but I study TryHackMe for basics and HackTheBox. All right, so that's not a question, but I agree with that. I think TryHackMe is more junior level learning. Like it's great. You can learn a ton. So I'm not saying it's not valuable, but HackTheBox I would say is like 201, right? In the college system, there's like 101 for freshmen, 201 for sophomores, 3, 4. I think TryHackMe's 101 and possibly some 201, and HackTheBox is like 201. That's just how they position themselves in the market. Silence Poet says, I got an interview for GRC roles at a bank. Yes, let's go. How do I study for the interview? I only spoke on my recent CISP with the recruiter. Okay. What I would do is, number one, they're probably not going to ask you, but go look at FINRA, FINRA. That is legislation that kind of controls financial environments around information security. So that has some value. Number two, definitely be ready to be familiar with some recent cybersecurity news. May I offer, in today's news, Silent Poet, if you were part of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, Fog Ransomware was attacking Asian-based financial systems using commercial grade post-exploitation frameworks and living off the land binaries. If you bring that up in a job interview and it's directly in the same vertical that you're interviewing in, right? I'm not saying you're like, oh, Fog Ransomware is going to attack this place if you guys don't hire me, but like being able to speak about the example and showing that you're engaged currently, showing that you're knowing terms like post-exploitation framework and understanding living off the land binaries. You don't have to be a pen tester to understand like, yo, if I'm doing GRC, I need to help protect this organization. I can educate on these things that end users need to be mindful of. I can help inform the SecOps people that they should be looking for these, Windows binaries doing bad, right? Show that you can deliver value, okay? That's what's up. Daniel, any thoughts on
that's your wheelhouse right there, my friend. Yeah.
All right.
But as far as interviews go, though, I can speak to that. Honestly, I think one of the best things you can bring to any interview, I don't care if it's for McDonald's or a CEO position, and that is confidence. That is, and so confident that you're willing to say, I don't know, right? That kind of stuff. That you act like you just, not that you don't care whether or not you get the job, but that's, you're cool about it. I mean, it's hard. It's like this X factor. You got to come in there just cool as a cucumber, because anxiety can overtake you really easily about, I really need to get this job. But you got to take a deep breath, right? Just like, honestly, I'm not even kidding. It's not a euphemism. It's not a metaphor. I'm literally take deep breaths, and that helps you control your nervous system and stay calm. And that is going to be a great skill to have. That's going to help slow you down, help you talk about the things that you want to talk about in the way you want to talk about them, and feel it's going to come off like you are the authority on these things. And they're going to be like, wow, I really like the way you speak about this, doing all the things that Jerry was talking about. If you get in there and you're like, well, yeah, that's going to be a bad interview. So having a good interview is just as important as the skills that you want to bring to that interview. If you can't relay those in a way that is comfortable between you and the person you're engaged with that's interviewing you, they want to feel like you're just like, wow, you just fit. We should just bring, well, I don't even know why. And maybe you're like, I don't know, this has been a great talk. I don't think you should even interview anybody else. I say we just make this happen. Right.
Yeah.
And then be ready to be, if they're like, well, like, I know, but I mean, it's cool, right? You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I had a lot of fun. I'm just having fun with you, right? That's the kind of stuff. If you're playful and you're cool, that's a great skill to bring to an interview.
100%. And it's mental gymnastics. It took me years and years to kind of accept this mentally, but like when you go in the interview, don't think of it as like a asymmetrical power relationship where they're in power and you're not in power. Think of it as peers, okay? And they could be 20 years your senior, but mentally treat it like peers, right? Don't be dismissive. Don't be rude to them. You wouldn't do that in general, but have a conversation with them, right? They have problems. You have problems. They're trying to find someone. You're trying to find a job. Like, maybe it's a fit. Maybe it's not. If you go in there like, oh my God, I got to get this job. I don't know what I'm doing. Like that has stink lines to it. Okay. And that could be the reality, but just enter it like you're having a cup of coffee with someone and you're talking business, because that's what it is. That's what you're doing. And when you approach it from that mental perspective, you're going to naturally be more confident because you're not weighing the gravity of the importance of this conversation on how it could impact the trajectory of your life. You're just living in the moment. And that there's value there. There is implicit value in your ability to be able to communicate and effectively handle the stress of the interview, right? Guys, I'm not saying that you're going to, like, the interview is a direct measurement on how you'll handle during incident response. But if you're cool and calm and doing your thing, that the people are like, oh, okay, like this guy can handle it. This lady can handle it, right? And you're going to deal with some tough people in the industry or tough people at business that are going to give you a hard time. You're going to deal with incidents. You're going to deal with crap, right? So treat this as like an opportunity to show that you got this. All right. We got more questions coming in. All right. Is GRC analyst a beginner role? There really is no beginner roles in cybersecurity. Like, there are junior roles in cybersecurity. GRC is a good one. For a junior role, GRC analyst, you can get into audit pretty well. If I was, if my kid came to me right now and said, Dad, how do I get into cyber right away? I would tell him to go look for CMMC readiness audit jobs. That is going to be hot. If you were just learning CMMC, Charlie, Michael, Charlie, you can Google it. If you in the United States, if you were learning about cyber, what would you do to better secure your home network? Do you know of any AI tools that can help guidance on how to better secure your home network? I'll do 30 seconds. Daniel, you do 30 seconds. Don't feel you need to disclose anything sensitive.
Sure.
I'm about to. Really quick, yeah, AI can help you with everything. I told a friend yesterday, if you're not using AI in every possible way, you are lagging, okay? So you could tell AI about all your stuff. Personally, I run a Ubiquity network, which is it's a tech stack. It's like a prosumer grade tech stack. And my entire environment is that. I run Security Onion for SIM. I have detections in place. I have alerting. I have a honeypot on my home network that almost never alerts until some neighborhood kid comes in and my kid gives them the wireless password and then I get notified. Yeah, I mean, that's basically me. And then I run Shodan, monitor. But like, again, a lot of my defensive tools look like they're not doing anything because I don't get a lot of like action on my network, right? Occasionally my son will go to stupid ass website.ru and I'll have to go in, like I'll FaceTime him immediately and be like, bro. And he's like, a friend sent it to me. Like, that's the conversation. Like, bro,
yeah,
a friend sent it to me. Yeah. Well, back up. Okay. Reboot your computer right now. All right. Daniel.
Never trust, always verify, right? Yeah. I don't care what friend sent it to me. If Jerry sends me something, I'm like, what is this? Malware? Smells like malware to me.
Definitely.
Anyway. You hit a lot of big things that are easy to kind of get instantiated into your own home personal network. Turning on some of the privacy stuff in your devices is always a good way to go. So you can kill down some of the telemetry. Even in Windows, there are some privacy settings that you can go in there and go, I do not want to be a part of this, and turn those off. pfSense firewalls have been a long favorite of mine. They do a pretty good job, and especially for the home user that's got a little more skill than just your average Joe or Jane. And so you can buy one of those or build your own. So that's always cool. There are little projects to build. Waza is another nice little tool to be able to spin up in your environment. There's Teapot. I did a video on Teapot. You talk about honeypots. It has like
Teapot's
every flipping honeypot available, and a really cool Kibana dashboard in which you can monitor and work with all the different honeypots that it has available for you. So really cool piece of kit right there.
I'm dropping a link to Teapot right now.
Yeah, Teapot's fire.
Yeah, I actually have a video on the channel. It's like deep in the recesses, lots of cobwebs on it.
Yeah.
Of me standing it up. It literally has, it's like Winnie the Pooh with like the black redacted eyes is the thumbnail. Yeah. All right, let's keep cooking. Let's see. Okay. Cam, best movie you've seen recently?
Best movie, Accountant 2.
Oh, you watch it? Is that on Netflix streaming right now?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay, very cool.
But
I'll have to check
that
that
movie
out.
was entertaining.
Ooh, all right.
It was
all right.
very entertaining.
I like it. What I haven't really seen a lot of movies lately. I guess you know what? This is a crap answer, but I got to tell you, Edge of Tomorrow. That movie, I can watch that movie all the time. That movie is so entertaining. Great action, interesting sci-fi story angle. Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt, yeah. If you're looking for more of a like, I want to get surreal. I want to be immersed into thought and feel. I haven't watched it in forever. Last weekend, I watched all the original Star Trek movies with the original cast. Star Trek: The Motion Picture is a really good movie. I was like, man, I forgot how good this was. It was a very good movie. Of course, Wrath of Khan is hard to beat, but I would say out of the original series films, the original the motion picture, Star Trek: The Motion Picture, the first one is, don't sleep on that. That's a good flick.
Okay, I like it. There you go. Damn, there you go. I'm trying to think if there's like any kind of like sleeper pick out there that isn't super mainstream.
Oh, I'll give you a sleeper. If you like violence.
Okay.
Brawl in Cell Block 99.
Okay. Brawl in Cell Block 99.
Do not watch it with the kids.
Okay. You know, I don't know if this is considered a sleeper, but Ong Bak. It's a Thai import film dubbed over.
Yeah.
ONGBAK. It's basically Tony Jaa when they were gonna make Tony Jaa like the new super action hero in Hollywood, and then that like imploded somehow. That is wildly entertaining. It's basically like a one-man. It's like Commando except with like Thai fighting instead of Arnold's like arsenal. Yeah, sorry. Let's keep going. Although I do feel compelled to tell you that the movie Commando, wicked holds up. I love.
Oh, that's just a fun flick.
Yeah.
That he fights Freddie Mercury. I mean.
Yeah, exactly. How would you compare working in IT cyber in the government sector versus the commercial sector? Have you worked in government, Daniel?
I've not worked in government.
All right.
I've always been private.
So I've worked federal. I've worked state. I've worked private. So I've done it all. I've worked for, National Science Foundation. Basically, things move way slower in government and they move way faster in private. You're a lot more, you used to be a lot safer in government. Doge has kind of changed that game. But yeah, the government one, it pays less, but you get access to training like SANS. Private sector pays more, but you can show up on Tuesday and find out you're fired because
I thought you were going to say that working for the government, it's slow, but at least it's fat.
Oh yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there's no upside.
They both have their benefits. Having worked in both, I guess I feel like it depends what your career goals are, right? So if you just want to get a paycheck and punch out and live your life, government's great because like I hate to say it, but like the expectations are pretty in low. Government. Yeah, I mean there's so many people that work in government that they have to standardize performance, they have to standardize roles, they have to standardize all these things. So it's not that hard to like meet the requirements. But if you're looking to be challenged, make a lot of money, move quick, break things, maybe even start your own company at some point. Private sector is cool because you get to do all those things. And, what honeypot do you have set up? So this is a private one. I was going to do a video. On my channel for this years ago. And because of reasons I can't get into, I ended up not making a video. But this is it right here. Literally, it's called Stingbox. It's an endpoint. You literally just plug it in, and it's simple. It's super simple, super easy, super straightforward. For everybody going to interviews right now, good luck. I see some people in private DMs. I see some people in open chat. Phil Staffort's in open chat. Others, good luck on your interviews. Yeah, so this is it right here, man. This is a legit. Like originally, we were gonna give a negative review on this thing, which is why I didn't make the review because the guy sent it to me for free and then he didn't like my thoughts. But I've used it for years, and now I'm a convert, right? Like this thing, it just sits and does its thing. There's no recurring fees. It's cool. So this is what it is. It just hangs out on. It's basically hanging off my Switch.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah,
Jerry, I hate to do this to you, brother, but I gotta hit the old dusty trail. Got to get ready for Cybercast IRL.
Oh boy, Daniel's got to go to the kitchen and double fist Monster Energies.
Literally, what I have to walk into the house, into the kitchen, get my cup, get some ice, get the Monster. There's a whole ritual.
Where are we with the sponsorship? All right, you need like a Monster fridge in the background. That's what you need, like Penguin Zero or Moist.
I need like whatever. Monster hats with Monster shirts.
Yeah.
Just everything Monster.
Like a Post Malone face tattoo.
If I'm not mistaken, they have a guitar.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've been wildly educated, entertained, and inspired by Daniel Lowry. You can check him out in 10 minutes live on his own channel, which we will raid together. So go check that out. Daniel, have a great weekend, dude. Happy Father's Day.
Take it easy, brother. Right back at you.
Thank you. All right, let's push him out, and it's just me now. Let's go. All right, what else we got here? If you have a speech impediment like stuttering, should you mention that from the jump during an interview? I mean, I wouldn't. I think it'll become known. I guess if you want to address it, I mean, that's your own prerogative, right? Maybe, I don't know, sometimes maybe it is worth noting that way. It's just, out there in the open, and it's not like an unspoken thing. Actually, yeah, so I guess Dreaded Hoser, after thinking about it, you could bring it up. It really is a personal choice. Like, hey, super excited to be here. As you can tell, I do have a speech impediment. I hope that, isn't an issue. But I'm looking forward to this conversation. And, just simple, quick address it and go on. All right, let's go. We got 10 minutes. Justin Gold, Haircut Fish. If you can, would you link the Daniel's stream so we can rate it? All right. Some AI honeypots out there. That's cool. People really talking about Accountant 2 being great. That's just great. If I was a lunatic, I would download Accountant 2 onto my phone and then watch it while I drive tomorrow, but I won't. That's insane. Tech Grunt says, question for Daniel Lowry. He's gone, so sorry, we can't do that. Commando is my favorite Arnold film, Elliot Matisse says. Elliot Matisse and I, we're quickly finding out we're best friends. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there and to every mom, grandparent. That's right. Father's Day, there's a lot of people who are father figures in people's lives. It doesn't necessarily mean there's a lot of people who are biological fathers that are not active father figures, right? So to all the dads out there, it's all about good times. Oh, well, Elliot, I did not know that. When I got it, it was not subscription price. I'm not surprised. I mean, I don't know why it wasn't subscription at the time, but my biggest problem with interviews is having a good question for the interview. The only question I keep coming up with is, how do you success in 3 to 6 months? Oh my God, Mental Edge. There's so many. I actually have a short on. Hold on. Let me do this because I got a video for that. I have what I think is the absolute number one best question you could possibly ask. Give me a second. I got all this RSA stuff, all this Zero Trust World stuff. Oh my God. Ask this question to land your dream job. I think this is it. Hold on. I'm reading it right now. Yep. Check this out. Who asked this question? Mental Edge. Dude, this question right here, I'm gonna link you to this short. Everybody can go get this short. This is it right here, okay? At Mental Edge. Dude, come on. Look at this. I don't think you can hear it, but what is the biggest security gap in your information security program today versus where leadership wants you to be in 18 months? You're going to be showing that you're interested in the growth. You're going to get a complete understanding at that moment of what their maturity is of their information security program and if they're investing in it. You're going to look like a big brain to the person interviewing you because that is a big brain question. You're going to, if they're not ready to answer that question, that's kind of an interesting observation as well. And it's definitely more focused, Mental Edge, your question is focused on this role. How do you see this role being successful? The question I'm suggesting you ask is more like, I'm here to help you solve your problems. I need to know where are we on the roadmap now in 18 months so we can work together and start kicking butt instantly. That's what I would recommend. All right. Do you believe anyone from a non-technical background wants to get in cyber? Is it possible? Yes, Ravi, it's totally possible. You do have to put work in and learn the technical stuff, though. You can't just be non-technical and continue to be non-technical. But you can learn. Justin Gold watched Caught in the Act last night with the girlfriend. She wanted to know if you felt like Chris Hansen. Oh my God, Justin Gold. If you guys didn't know, I'm on MTV on a show called Caught in the Act Double Life. I'm just the nerd in the seat doing the cybersecurity stuff, so I don't get to be there when the reveal happens, if you will. That's Tamar's bag. CM says, what are your thoughts on decoupling Office 365 login username from users' public-facing email address to enhance account security? Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad way to do it, but you got to think, CM, the trade-off, it is more secure, but you're introducing pretty big burden to your workforce, right? Especially since it's like a federated identity. So I don't know. I mean, I just think, multi-factor authentication, conditional access, these type of things would be better in still giving your end users a more frictionless experience interacting with applications and systems. What are your thoughts on ISACA's beta AAISM? I don't know, Silence Poet. I haven't reviewed that, so I haven't looked at it. Okay, we're looking at Daniel Lowry. He's got a couple minutes. Guys, we are going to be ending and rating over Daniel Lowry in a few minutes. So if I do go, I do want to say thank you for being here. And I want to say thank you for this week. It's been great. Welcome to the newcomers. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. I'll be driving, like I said. Next time you see me, I will be at my in-laws. Also, we have really quickly, we have our monthly AMA in Discord at 1 p.m. today. I should have marketed that better. But if you're on the Discord server, Simply Cyber Discord, put !Discord in chat if you need the link. We will be doing a live AMA. It's very similar to what we're doing right now, except it's not streamed, so you can ask more personal questions. We actually did a resume roast last month. Emmanuel says they're going to be working as a cyber intern at a bank. I feel like we already answered this question. But, yeah, just be engaged, be positive, show up early, stay late, ask good questions, be helpful, right? If they give you some opportunities, take full advantage of them. All right. Great. Let's look here. What does success look like for this role in the first 90 days? Another offer on questions you can ask the interviewer. Mental Edge says lurking right now. They're in an Amazon van. No problem, dude. Mental Edge, keep crushing. I love it. Ask the questions. That's what we're here for. Poner Joe says it. That's what we're here for. Growth within the position. Oh, that's a question you can ask. What's the opportunity for growth? Yeah. That show is interesting. Thank you, Space Tacos, if you're talking about my MTV show. All right, continuing to scan. All right, looking for chat. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you for all your do from DP. DP, tell KP what's up. Thank you, DP, as always. Guys, I will drop a link to the CFP for Simply CyberCon if you're interested. We'll have a better promotion of this going out, but if you're interested, this is the CFP. We have 2 tracks. One is for industry pros who want to speak, and then one track is for first timers. We're going to have 6 45-minute speakers on track 1 and 12 20-minute speakers on track 2. You can go there if you're interested. Details to follow. We're just in the middle of getting this all stood up. Where's my Daniel Lowry? There he is. Waiting for Daniel. All right, guys, I'm going to drop a link to this. I'm Jerry. Let's go raid Daniel Lowry together. I will be in chat over at Daniel Lowry's IRL. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber, guys. Thanks for everything. Be well, and until next time, stay secure.